Very good. Now this is an attempted comedy. If you don't laugh, I will cry. Because comedy is new to me, right? So basically, I am shaking with excitement is a metaphorical and literal for me. For many of you, it's only metaphorical. For me, it's both. So that I have an unique advantage there. So, first of all, I want to dedicate this act to my wife, Kavita. She is not here. She could have been here. She is not here because we traveled for 8 hours from a temple. She must be tired. We have been married for 30 years. Don't ask for any marriage tips because it's only 30 years. So as a husband, I have still a lot to learn. So I'll get there sooner than later. So I have not seen God, but my wife Kavita is like goddess in mood swings. She brings the goddess part all by herself, but I bring the mood swings in her. So what happened was years ago, only once, she asked me to bring something from the grocery store. She said 3 things: tomato, tur dal, and tamarind. I'm a writer now. I got fascinated with alliteration. Tomato, tur dal, tamarind. Tomato, tur dal, tamarind. But when I reached the store, I forgot what the alliteration was for. Then I thought, I know it's alliteration, but I don't remember which letter it started. I said, is it avocado, asparagus, and asafoetida? No, that is, I don't even know what asafoetida is. So I didn't want to go back empty-handed because I am a smart person, right? So I took beans, brinjal, and beetroot. That was the last time she sent me to grocery store. And I also find that my wife is a little bit peculiar. In the sense, if I do 80% of the job, I expect at least 20% appreciation. Instead, I get 100% complaint. I'll give an example. She had a work call at 11:15, and then she said, switch on the gas stove at 11:15 exactly. I switched on the gas but didn't light the stove. 80% of the job is switching the gas on, right? And in 10 minutes, the house was smelling. And I didn't realize, I thought somebody is doing something outside. So something is wrong, but I never bothered to say anything. And then she came out fuming. What is this? You are not switched on the gas stove. I said, 80% of the job is switching on the gas. She wouldn't understand. So that's why she still loves me. So that's why this act is dedicated. I call our marriage an arranged miracle rather than arranged marriage. Because with this, we could have been dead and gone with the gas stove incident, but we are still alive. So most of the time when I'm cracking jokes on Parkinson's, right? So basically people don't laugh. And I get worried. Sometimes I ask, they tell that, what will other people think of me, around me, right? So I'll tell a story. So whenever there is a clinical trial, Parkinson's patient rush as if we're angels fear to tread. Because there's no cure for Parkinson's. So we always think something is there, we can try it. One such clinical trial was called Repentrol. I'm saying this so that just in case somebody wants it, don't use it. So this was to stop shaking. And it worked actually. Each tablet cost about $26. And then I had 60 of them. And I took one. It stopped shaking and stopped everything for 7 hours. I was frozen. And then for some it's like I was in my own prison in my own body. And then finally I recovered and called the doctor and said, this is what happened. I said, he asked me, what are you doing with the other 59 tablets? Please throw it. I said, no, I'm not going to throw it. He said, what are you going to do? When I'm doing a stand-up comedy at Verbinden Communications, if somebody is not laughing, I still have them, by the way. So I'm watching who is laughing, who is not laughing. And then I might invite you for tea or coffee or something. And instead of one, I'll slip two or three. See, the thing is, how many people talk to yourself? Have you ever talked to yourself? Have you talked to a body part? Probably not. I got used to talking to a body part because there was a glass of water here. Imagine there is a glass of water. During my peak of Parkinson's, I want to pick up the glass of water, I have to motivate my hand. I'll say that I want to pick up the glass of water. I think about it, but the hand says no, not now. I said no, I want it now. He said no. It's like a body has its own democracy. The central government is something, state government is something else. It has its own rules and regulations. Or maybe it's waiting for a vote. Let me ask the knee. What does it think? I have no idea. And it's like, sometimes I think it's like labor union in action. They're on strike. I don't want to do it. So things started going bad and bad and bad. And then I got into the B2B business. Residential only, which is residential. Within residence, I go from bedroom to bathroom, that's all. That's it. And then I stop. And then people say that should have a beginner's body, beginner's mind. I had beginner's body. So much that I used to wear diapers and use zippers. Now I'm not wearing a diaper. I can't prove it to you, but I am not. So, but zipper I use because it's so cool, right? I mean, I can throw it and nothing, the water never spills. But Kavita says that you should stop using zipper. I said, no, it's cool. I'll use it. And I'm wearing this vest with very proud of it because I put the buttons on my own. Guru and Lavanya can attest that. I did it myself. Because it has 4 buttons in the bottom, on the top, and the shirt has 6 buttons. And I remember it because earlier I could not put on the buttons. Now I'm fascinated. Anything is there without buttons, I don't even want to wear it. Because I can put on myself. And Kavita was really angry that you don't stop fiddling with the buttons. My friend said you should write a new book called Button Up. So there are a lot of things that I learned new. I got some props. I'm not a magician, but I got some props. Do you know, anybody know what is a fine print? Fine print is whatever is not fine, you print it in small letters. Right? So this is what is fine print. I'm showing this. I used to take 32 tablets. One of the fine print for one of the tablets is like this. Takes a while. Just in case you are not satisfied, there is something in the back also. That is fine print. Thank you. So it looks like Stephen King horror movie. If I read all the side effects of the tablets, I learn it will be a 101 in biology class. Kidney, liver, heart, spleen, everything will get affected sometime or the other. So best is to not read it. And one of the side effects of Parkinson's is depression, but I never got it. Doctor was surprised that you are never depressed. I said, no, I don't read the fine print. Why will I be depressed? Right? So sometimes people say ignorance is bliss. In this case, it is bliss. If you read it, definitely you can't take a tablet. If you can't take a tablet, you can't move. So something has to go, so this will go. That's it. And then lot of things I relearned. Do you know what is a staircase? So for me it was a case of staring at the steps. Everything looked like Mount Everest. First time you lose balance, right? So Parkinson's is a movement disorder where you lose a lot of balance. First time I tried to get down from the stairs on my own. I fell down, slide from the top to bottom, I lost consciousness. And then Kavita was putting water, that's what I remember. She was putting water to wake me up and she asked me, What happened? I said, I remembered one thing. I said, I know why this is called flight of stairs. Some people fly down the stairs. She was not happy about it. I don't know why. Sometimes it's really complicated. Understand woman is really complicated. Do you agree? I say that your wife is always right. If you think otherwise, you are not very bright. In my case, it is true. So, there is another word that I have. Whistleblower. Does anybody know what is whistleblower? So, what is it? Exposes. For Parkinson's, it's just this. You take a whistle and then hold like this, blow it. Why? Because in the latest parts of the disease, progression, you lose your voice. And the only way I could call Kavita or Sumuk was to blow the whistle. I used to blow the whistle so many times, there was a knock on the door, neighbors were complaining that the little kids are making too much noise. Kavita had to tell them it's not the little kid, the big kid. So, this is what happened. And then I started losing confidence because, you can't move a lot and the B2B business is not that good. And then long distance running was going from bedroom to bathroom. So it was all happening and I was thinking I'm supposed to be the head of the household. And then what can I do to earn money, right? So I was thinking, what can slow people do that fast people cannot do? And what can people who are shaking do better? Then I was thinking, I thought of a few jobs. Because you belong to a community of people who also has Parkinson's, who are doing a sympathy exchange, how bad your shaking is and how bad my shaking is, how bad you are frozen, how bad I am frozen. But we said this is too much, it's always something or the other negative. Why don't we band together and go to the concrete mixing sites? And then hold the concrete mixer. That's about it. And then it will mix by itself. And they'll save on power and all those things. But that didn't fly because, weight is too much. But I thought, I never had I'm a teetotaler from a birth, no? But I was thinking, cocktail mixing could be one of the things. Right? They could just give me the bottle and or at least milk shaker. I can just ask them to bring milk and then I hold it and then pass it on. Milk shaker on demand. And then I was thinking that in a pharmacy, I think I could get a job, which is basically in many bottles they will say that shake well before use. I could start a service called Shaken Well Before Use. Shaken Well as a service. Right? So I thought of all those things. But nothing would work. And I was thinking, the people if you go look at the job application, job profile, they'll say movers and shakers are required. I fit half of it. I can get 2 jobs and then get 50% from each of them. I'm a shaker. And then I get 2 jobs and I'll get 100% of the salary. Coming to movers and shakers, my friend Sterling is a better writer. Some of you know him. He also has Parkinson's. I told him, Sterling, of all the people, you should not have got Parkinson's. He said, thank you so much, but why me? Thank you for saying it. I said, if you didn't get Parkinson's, we could co-write a book, it will be called Movers and Shakers. But now, if we write a book, it will be called Shakers and Shakers. And if you do spelling mistake, probably it will sell a few copies in Dubai. That's about it. Right? But that didn't fly. Right? So I was thinking, what else can people do? I mean, I could write my own book, Slow and Steady wins the race, but no. Slow and wobbly will win the race is what it is. But that also people won't believe. I still remember Kavita took me to, we tried so many things in, as we probably spent $500,000 in trying to do some alternative therapies. One person said you should spend time with cows. So we went to a Goshala and then nothing happened except that I became friends with cows. That's about it. And then while coming back, By that time, Kavita had to feed me with her own hands for everything. And in the airport, I remember in Nashville, I was walking like this, like a drunkard. And then everybody was leaving space as if I was thinking I was like a king, everybody is giving space. But really, they were trying to avoid the drug addict. They were thinking, oh, let's pull our children from there. So, then the whole life I have tried to do comedy. Most of the jokes bombed, right? So when people ask me, how are you feeling? I used to say, shaken but not stirred. And then people said, James Bond franchise can come and sue you. I said, oh, that's not good. So I said, sometimes shaken, never stirred. So, and still people said there is some resemblance to James Bond. I said, no, there is no resemblance because there is a point that will make a difference between me and James Bond. Said he is 007, I am .007. That point now will make a lot of difference. So, in the end, there was a time when Kavita had to arrange me in the bed rather than arranging the bed. At that time, I said I have to get these 2 brain surgeries, right? So basically, I was avoiding it for 1.5 years. The doctor was convincing me that I should get the brain surgery. I was avoiding it because I asked him, is there any problems that might happen? He said, no, there's not. We have been doing this for 10 years. But you have to put 2 electrodes in the brain. I'm even imagining the first time they come up with this idea, how they could have discussed it. Let's open the skull, insert 2 electrodes, and then shock the hell out of the brain. I don't know who thought of it like that. But he said it's been done, it is robot-assisted surgery and all those things. And then, but if it touches any of the blood vessels, then 1 or 2 organs might fail. I said, that's not a small thing. That's what made me avoid the surgery for 1.5 years. But then the alternative was not good. It's like living like a vegetable. I said, let me try it. I still remember the time. First surgery was 5 hours, 45 minutes at the Good Samaritan Hospital. My neurologist is a Chinese. Neurosurgeon is a Pakistani, Dr. Khan, bless his heart. I'm so happy that the surgery happened on February 9th and not after the Asia Cup defeat, Pakistan. Because you never know, right? I mean, 2 blood vessels, 1 or 2 accidental touching, and then scores are settled. Luckily, that didn't happen. So, I still remember the first surgery, whatever little I can remember. They gave me the anesthesia. They took me to a hospital called Good Samaritan Hospital, operation room number 2. I'm saying this because nobody should go to operation room number 2. You'll see why. They put the surgery. I was losing consciousness, but then some equipment stopped working. And it's supposed to be Microsoft equipment. I said, they try to practically making calls to Microsoft and nothing is happening. But then they call an in-house Microsoft expert, Tina. She came and she did something and it got fixed. And I could still remember, Dr. Khan was asking, what did you do? Oh, no, it's not software issue. I just tapped twice in this and then it started working. I was thinking, let's hope that she will not tap twice more and then it will stop working. But luckily she went away. And then the Dr. Khan, he said, I'm always amazed that this machine still work on Windows 95. And then I lost consciousness. I said, oh God, they're operating on Windows 95. And then after the surgery was successful, I put in the suggestion box, please at least upgrade to Windows NT. Right? Otherwise it will be a problem. So the next surgery was on February 14th on Valentine's Day, right? So I was hoping that I'll not go to operation room number 2. I was hoping, God, don't take me to Windows 95 machine. And then it was operation room number 12, OR 12. And it was good. Basically, Dr. Khan came. I was still having some consciousness, and he was telling, there were 9 people assisting him. 1 doctor, 1 robot, and 9 people assisting the robot and the doctor. And he asked, "Are you all feeling good today?" I was thinking, what doctor? Now is not the time to ask the question. What if somebody says, "No, I had a fight with my wife. I'm not feeling good today." What will he do? He said, "I'm already there on the operating room table." So, and then I don't know whether Dr. Khan believes in Feng Shui or something. He said, "I don't like the orientation of the operating table. Can you please turn it 90 degrees? And then I lost consciousness. And then after 3 hours, 45 minutes later, I woke up and the first thing I remembered was, what happened? Did they turn the operative orientation? I was asking the nurse, she was a black woman. I was asking her, did they turn the table 90 degrees? She said, turn the table what? What orientation? I said, no. Before they went and lost unconsciousness, did they turn the table to 90 degrees? I don't know what you are talking. And the other nurse who was passing by said, last 15 minutes, this guy is talking nonsense, ignore him. So, but I still don't know. It will still be a mystery to me whether they turned it 90 degrees or not. That's all I had to say. You have been a great audience. Thank you very much.